At 11, hopes dash for a Chicago man who had hoped to be released from prison after 30 years. In a surprise move, a judge has decided Gerald Reed will not get a new trial and continue his life sentence. CBS 2's Eric Cox joins us live from Layton Criminal Court with reaction from Reed's supporters. Eric?
There's a lot of upset and emotional people here right now. Dozens of loved ones and other supporters of Gerald Reed are here at the courthouse. They are not happy, coming here demanding Gerald Reed's release, and now they're leaving the courthouse with those hopes dashed. The judge who first challenged and pushed for a new trial over a year ago now retired, and the new judge who took over the case today has overturned that previous decision, meaning Gerald Reed will once again spend the rest of his life behind bars, at this point at least. That decision came down just about 30 minutes ago. The now 56-year-old was first sentenced to life in jail after being convicted of a 1990 double murder. But Reed says he was battered by detectives who, under the direction of disgraced former Chicago Police Commander John Burge, forced him into confessing to a crime that he never committed. Reed claims those beatings were so bad, detectives broke a titanium rod that was holding his fractured femur in place. He had to live with that injury for over 25 years, taking pills to deal with the pain until a federal lawsuit granted him surgery in 2016. 33rd World Alderman Rosana Rodriguez Sanchez joined the ranks of Reed supporters. So too did his mom and members of several social justice organizations. Here's what they had to say about the decision minutes ago.
This is an example of additional cover-up. The era of John Burge is not over. It's continued to be cover-up right now. Yes. Everyone who is a part of that, from the legal system, from the judge, from the state's attorney's office, are complicit in the continued brutality of our people. Gerald Reed should be freed. His conviction was vacated 14 months ago. There's no reason that he is in Cook County Jail right now.
As far as the justice system, I am so surprised. I never would have thought that this judge would do what he did today.
Several of the supporters are left, but there are still a few that are here right now. As you can see, it was very emotional. A lot of anger in those words that you just heard, again, because they felt like they were completely sideswiped by this decision today, not realizing that this was what they were coming to see. Instead, they thought they were going to hear about the new trial and when it would be. Instead, they got this news. Now they're just hoping that the chief judge will be able to do something about this. And if not him, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who's able to enact some sort of ordinance that could bring about a civilian police accountability board. Again, these are their options, and they're hoping that one of them will prevail. Now I'm Eric Cox reporting live at the Layton Criminal Courthouse, CBS 2 News.
Eric, thanks so much.